The broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Hello and welcome to the FMCC webinar, Integrating Sustainability into Facility Management, presented by Mohamed El Agroudy from the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. I'm Joshua Amos, the FMCC Component Liaison here at IFMA. I do want to let everyone know they have been muted for audio quality. And this webinar is being recorded and will be posted to the FMCC website, fmcc.ifma.org. If at any time during the presentation you have any questions, please feel free and type them into the question box, and we'll be happy to go over them during the Q&A portion at the end of the webinar. Also, if you'd like a PDF copy of the PowerPoint, it is available currently in your control panel. Go to the handout section, which is usually the second to the bottom option, and you can download it now. The FMCC likes to make you aware of their vision and mission statement. And the FMCC provides many services to the FM community, such as Ask the Expert, Find a Consultant, Locate a Speaker, and online educational resources. You may find more information on their website, fmcc.ifma.org. And today our presenter is Dr. Mohamed El Agroudy. He's a certified corporate trainer, a project management professional, a risk management professional, a transnational referral certified, an associate member of the Chartered Institute of Abbreviators, and a member of the American Society of Civil Engineers. He has his Bachelor's of Science in Civil and Construction Engineering, a Master's in Contracts, and a PhD in Contracts and Risk Management. He is also a lecturer at the American University of Cairo, chairman of the Services and Maintenance, and a project management consultant for mega projects in the Middle East. At this time, I'm going to go ahead and turn it over to Mohamed. Mohamed, the floor is yours.
Yeah, thank you, Joshua. Good evening, people in the Middle East, and good morning in the West, wherever you are. I'm glad to share with you some information regarding the facility management and integrating with the sustainability. Our session is going to illustrate the importance of sustainability, which of course is something essential now in the whole world regarding resources optimization. And if we are going to talk about the sustainability, the facility management serves as a good arm to reach the objectives of sustainability, or let's say they are enhancing each other, as I believe. We are going to overview sustainability and facility management common concepts, then illustrate the relationship and contact points between facility management and sustainability, and finally give some examples for simple application of feasible green solution and how they could improve the facility management in general. Next slide, please. So integrating sustainability in facility management is our topic, and here you can see some of the Middle East famous cities. On the left side, this is Doha, Qatar, and there is the place, we call it Dakhna region, for most common towers in Doha. And in the middle, this is the Kingdom Tower in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia, where I'm talking to you now. And on the right hand, this is Dubai, Sheikh Zayed Road, where most towers and high or skyscrapers are located. Burj Khalifa, which is currently is the highest or the top building in the world. Of course, these kind of structures require a good facility management, and you can, of course, rely on good companies to do these services in the Middle East. And now the facility management industry is elaborating and it's evolving in the region, and I believe it's going with a good steps in the future. Next, please. So sustainability. Sustainability is meeting the needs of the present without compromising the ability of future generation to meet their own needs. Here we're talking about resources, natural resources, about energy, about water, all kind of resources. We are talking about the good use of resources, and of course the good, let's say, optimization. And talking about sustainability, we are all knowing the fact that we have now more people and more cities around the world, and resources are limited. These kind of huge cities around the world is producing more waste and more pollution. I'm gonna give you like some statistics regarding these evolving and increasing cities, which have like more than 5 million in population. Next slide, please. This is green tea farms in Indonesia. If we are talking about huge or vast areas of farms, but remember, if those generation in the current era is consuming a lot of resources, nothing will be left for the next generation, especially if you know that most of this land now is becoming industrial and is not being under planting or agriculture industries in most countries. And this, of course, is one of the major problems in the current situation regarding natural resources. Talking about plants, talking about oil and gas, talking about energy in general, and water, drinking water, that is now seems to be very short in most of the world areas. Next, please. Okay, some statistics in regard to huge cities. According to the United Nations report, cities over only 2% of the world land surface, yet consume 75% of the world natural resources and produce at the same time 75% of its waste. Imagine this huge consumption of resources, and at the same time you have huge wastes, which is one of the very important aspects of pollution. And the number of cities with a population over 1 million has grown from 83 in 1950 to more than 400 cities today. And if I'm gonna give you an example for the crowded cities, in here in the region we have Cairo in Egypt. It's around 18 million, and we have Here in Saudi Arabia, we have Riyadh is about 6.5 million, and there is others like Dubai, which is not that much in population, but it's crowded from the traffic perspective. Those cities are becoming more and more each day, and if you imagine that these kind of huge cities with huge population are going to have consumption, high consumption rate of natural resources and high consumption production of waste, you can imagine what would be the problem. And of course, these are the facts that we are facing today. Next, please. This is an example of pollution. Cement factories. If you just click one more, Joshua, so that we can see that 1 ton of cement production, the cement industry, is generating 1 ton of carbon dioxide. This is a disaster. If we are talking about pollution and we are talking about more construction industry, which is growing and going fast in many countries, and of course it will be in need of cement production, which is one of the most important ingredients in concrete and all kind of construction industry. So we're talking here about a huge amount of carbon dioxide within even sometimes residential areas, and this is of course have bad effect on human beings and even all kind of creatures in the premises of such factories which cause this kind of pollution. And don't talk to me about filters and controlling of that kind of carbon dioxide and dust. I practice myself and I went to such areas near the cement factories, even with all kind of precautions in regard to pollution reduction and dust control and all kind of filters needed by the environment authorities. But believe me, and I think that most of us is aware of that, there is again, even with this all precautions, still you have a lot of pollution and you have a lot of problems in this regard and in the area near that kind of factories. So with the massive construction industry projects and with the need for cement, of course there is a lot of pollution going on, and maybe one of the solution is to try to get some substitution for cement in the concrete, for example, and start to look for other ingredients and other materials that can have the same effect with lower level of pollution. Next, please. This is an example for some cities which having more population, and it's increasing day by day, and you cannot stop that. And of course, due to centralization in some areas, people are gathering and centralizing in some areas and some cities which have more services, which have some higher level of education and other services needed. So the result is more crowded area and more pollution and this is of course against sustainability. Next, please. One more click, Joshua. So talking about sustainability principles, we have social, environment, and the economic factors, and of course the intersection of these three major elements give you how sustainable you are in your community or area. And of course, if you are talking about the intersection of facility management and sustainability in regard to these three pillars of sustainability, I believe the most interconnecting one is economical factors. Of course, when you are talking in regard of cost, facility management is concerned about running your facility with the high performance and the required level of quality, and at the same time with considerable cost, which is the economical factor. And now this is a good start that integrating sustainability and facility management in sustainability and enhancing each other with this kind of relationship. Not only economic factors, but environment in regard to waste control and waste management and energy and water saving in all kind of facilities, even industrial, residential, or educational, whatever. We have the same concept, but also with the third one, which is social. Social factor is also clear, talking about facility management, considering having some kind of job offering and other, let's say, titles that was not maybe 5 years ago or 4 years ago. We didn't hear anything about a job named facility manager. If you search the internet looking for a facility management position, 4 or 5 years ago, this was not even there. But now, creating more jobs and doing the same, let's say, job security, this is becoming more and more with the existence of facility management. So we can say that sustainability is very interconnected with facility management, and they are very essential and very crucial to each other. To enhance sustainability, you have to use facility management, and facility management is being affected positively with sustainability. Next slide, please. One more click. And here we just explore a little bit about green buildings. The green building or economical building, eco building, environmental friendly building is having some major items: environmental protection, sustainable development, and on the other hand, cost efficiency, resource saving, and this is very important aspect of green buildings. Energy efficiency and energy saving, again with the same concept, and high quality and high performance and a good quality for indoor environment of any facility and any building. These are common concepts and very important factors considering green buildings. And by the way, it's getting better now. The let's say, the maturity level of being green is increasing with a good rate all over the world. If you think that most of these structures that's being now under construction is following the LEED, for example, LEED rating system and other systems, like here in the region we have GSAS and we have other green building codes. It's promising, I believe. Now people are pretty much matured in regard to green buildings, and they are aware of the importance of green building, and they start realizing the value of having green buildings. And of course, this has increased the applicability of such codes and such culture. If talking about the current, let's say, years, 1 or 2 years in the Middle East, we have growing numbers of green buildings and LEED certified buildings with all levels, green and silver, golden, platinum. They are increasing in a good rate, as I told you. If we have a look on the next slide, we would realize that this is King Abdullah Financial District in Riyadh. It's a huge project containing a lot of facilities and buildings. Mostly they are green buildings in different rating in regard to LEED. And if you look at these buildings, you can easily find that it's being applied now in all regions, and it's being under concern for government and private sectors and all other investment opportunities. So the green building and sustainability is being considered now in the region and globally, and people start to think about and to consider not just for environmental factors, but even for economical factors. As I told you, if you have, for example, an hotel with green or let's say certified LEED or certified wherever from green associations, and you are thinking of selling that hotel. Of course, if you're talking about green, certified green hotel, it will be in a different price regarding the other conventional or ordinary hotels. And of course, this will make a good investment for investors who are putting their efforts and money and budget to get some profit at the end of the day. Next, please. At this point, I'm gonna ask one question in the first poll. Do you think that sustainability and facility management are enhancing each other? You can either answer with yes or no.
I'll give 1 minute for that poll to come up, and then we'll come back to it. Just give me just a moment.
Yes, okay.
100% say yes.
Yeah, fantastic. I think this course brings us again to the fact that facility management and sustainability are pretty much related to each other, and they are enhancing each other. If you seek how to get your facility being sustainable, you should consider the facility management application. And of course, on the other hand, if you are considering facility management services in some facilities, doing sustainable solution, of course, will contribute to cost reduction and try to minimize the running cost and enhance the performance of your facility, of course. And this brings us to the fundamentals of facility management. We have here the definition by IFMA. Facility management is a profession that encompasses multiple disciplines to ensure functionality of the built environment by integrating people, place, processes, and technology. And looking to this definition, of course, we have here some things to illustrate. Talking about multiple disciplines. If you are talking about a facility, imagine MEP systems, imagine talking about elevators, about HVAC, about other systems, telecommunication, and all other architectural and structural elements of that facility. So you are integrating and doing this kind of multiple disciplines so that you are sure that functionality is being achieved, and of course with the required level of performance. And your tools is people, place, processes, and technology. People who are the major and the first pillar of having facility management achieved. If you are talking about machines only, it's of course a very important tools and equipment required to your facility management. But without brains, without human resource, you cannot control, you cannot operate such huge equipment and machines. Place, which is something you should consider as a workplace or a residential or any other places. And in most cases, we do what we call post-occupancy assessment to make sure that people are very happy with their place and make sure that it's functioning well. Processes in all kind of disciplines, there is a kind of process should be maintained and of course being evaluated regularly. And lastly is the technology, which is being now more elaborated and more evolving with these smartphones and other electronic devices that give you what you are in need of at a high and a maximum speed. We are going to illustrate some of these items in the next slides in regard to the applications used in facility management and CMCS, which is computerized maintenance management systems and applications. If we consider a facility management, we are talking about water optimization, smart meters, use and flow sensing, energy. We're talking about also smart meters, and we are talking also about a good efficiency in energy consumption. We are considering fire and fire detector devices and checking the safety of that facility. We are considering elevators from the maintenance perspective and their performance and reliability. We are considering HVAC, fans, and other air handling unit and other chillers and other units. Lighting, which is very also sensitive in these days, and we have now more devices controlling lighting and dimming of some of these lights. And we are talking also about access control and security, CCTV and other systems that would control your accessibility in such facility. And of course, we are talking about monitoring in 24/7. Here, talking about PMS, building management systems, and other systems that could be integrated in facility management to achieve sustainable and high performance level that is required for any facility. Next, please. So sustainability and facility management, with some bullets we are going to illustrate in the next slides regarding energy optimization and management, water management and recycling, waste management, potential saving in time and cost, performance improvement, and business continuity. These are points, I believe, which have a good contact point between sustainability and facility management. And you can see that some of them are from the economical concept or perspective, and other from the social and environmental as well. We will highlight these points with some examples for real life projects, let's say case studies done within the region to make sure that your facility is running well, you have a good facility management, and you are trying to achieve your sustainability strategy. Next, please. Talking about energy optimization and management, and of course, here in the Middle East, people are now turning to be more dependent on renewable energy. We have a lot of projects tending to use the solar and wind energy, and of course this will be a good factor to try minimizing dependency on oil and gas, for example, which is very popular and common here in the region and all over the world generally. So going to other sources of energy, renewable energy, and energies that are environmental friendly is being now evolved, and it's elaborating over the past few years. If we have the next slide, we show you some kind of examples in application of these kind of renewable energy, especially in solar energy, and of course talking about Saudi Arabia, Arab Emirates, and all Gulf countries, and moreover we have the North Africa, Egypt, and other countries are now building their let's say the initial projects in solar energy, and we have a lot of examples in Arab Emirates. We have Master City. Here in Saudi Arabia we have a lot of projects including some of these in Jeddah and other projects, and of course it's evolving in the whole area. Why? Because we have here, you can say that we have sunlight 24/7, which is not sunlight, of course it's heat, but moreover you have the sun is shining in let's say in most of the year. You have shiny sun in all or most of the days, and you have a good amount of heat by the sun, so that you can start utilizing. And of course solar energy is now becoming one of the pillars in energy sector. And what is good in this, that most countries now are being under study for the new regulations and new rules for using such kind of exchange meters, that you can, for example, in your house you can build a system for solar panels and you can feed the public network, and in that case you can have some kind of earnings that will be helping you in the budget, in general budget. And of course you are using an environmental friendly source of energy as well. And in most countries here now, they are reducing such laws and regulation in regard to regulating and standardizing the rules for using the solar energy and renewable energies. And of course within the coming years it will be more and more used on all levels. We are talking here not only on the micro level, but we are talking about macro level for huge stations, let's say for gigas, not only megas, but we are talking about huge amount of energy being produced in let's say in most of the countries that are considering solar energy as a source of power. It's being studied by the government to start building a lot of projects that are using and utilizing the solar energy in producing that kind of renewable energy. Next slide, please. One more thing in facility management and of course again sustainability is water management and recycling. And here you of course you are not surprised that in a few years the whole region and the whole world will be suffering from a shortage of water, and there will be a kind of crisis in this regard. So most countries now are trying to optimize and do the necessary control for the consumption, and even trying to recycle the let's say gray water. In most cases gray water is being treated, and it could be used for a lot of things in regard to landscape irrigation, in regard to planting for some kind of plants which is being allowed by the code of that kind of water, treated water. So for a kind of examples in this regard done in some projects in the region, if we look at the next slide, we may have a simple and a very economically system that is using some kind of filters and some kind of simple treatment for the gray water, which of course is very light and it doesn't contain any kind of solids, and you can use it easily in this kind of treatment. And of course we are talking here about some kind of tanks which could be for the micro level, like talking about apartments or let's say a small villas that could have a 1 cubic meter tank, underground tank for this kind of treatment. And of course you will be having that water coming from the gray use, kitchens and showers and basins, that will be going directly in the gray water piping to that kind of tank, and of course it will be easier to treat that kind of water, gray water, and finally the output of that treatment will be dedicated to landscape irrigation, flushing tanks, and car washing and other uses that we are suffering now in most countries that have shortage in water. Sometimes you are surprised that people are using tap water for washing cars or for other uses that it seems to be ridiculous if you are wasting that kind of water in such uses and you are having a shortage of water in general. And of course this, if it could be applicable, and we have this applied in Egypt, for example, in some projects, and it's as I told you, it's not that much cost. That system in general, it could cost you for a small villa like $1,000. It's not big that much, and it will give you around 40% of your needs from water for the other uses, for domestic uses, like as I told you, landscape irrigation, flushing tanks, car washing, and other uses, cleaning. So it's something that we can say it's applicable, and this is one of the sustainability ideas, and let's say green ideas. At the same time, it's very enhancing in the facility management application, and they are, as I told you, pretty much connected. Next, please. This is the same example that we are talking about in regard to gray water recycling with a simple and cheap tool that you can use in the micro level, in such kind of simple things that it could contribute to sustainable and a good facility management application in this small projects. Next, please. Coming to the waste management, and of course it's being applied in a wide range of areas now, that you would go for separation of the biological and plastic and cans and other things to be classified and separated in a different boxes, and then not only to use that kind of waste in recycling, but sometimes for the bio waste you can use it as a fertilizers, you can use it in other industries. And if you have a good look on that picture, this is actually in Egypt, in one of the most remarkable real estate projects there. It's called Madinati. They have not only the separated waste, which is a good waste management and applied in many places, but there is a kind of sensors you can see on that control. There is a sensor in the underground tank that contain waste for alerting authorities, or let's say facility management providers, that there is a full tank here, so there is a kind of alarm or lightning system that will be alerting the maintaining authorities, and they will come at once and start to empty this kind of underground tanks. And again, it's operated by solar energy, as you can see on the panels beside the middle box. There is a solar panel that is operating that kind of alert system, and it's fully automized. And this is again a good example of using a simple things in applying facility management, which is a major concept in sustainability. Next, please. So we talked in the beginning about the relationship and the contact points between sustainability and facility management. One of the major contact points is potential saving in time and cost. And of course, if you are going to use such green solutions to attain a cost reduction and of course a good performance, this will help people and convince them to apply more and more facility management and sustainability aspects. And at the end of the day, you have a good maturity level in the community for using the facility management as a tool to enhance and to empower the sustainability. Next, please. Talking about performance improvement, and of course related to technology. In most cases, for applying facility management, you can use some apps that will control your facility and give the work order system and start making use of spreadsheets and other CMCS, computerized maintenance management systems. And of course, it even can be on a basis with a computer base or sometimes a mobile apps. If we skip to the next slide, and we may have the next also. Next again. One more, Joshua, please. Yeah, you can have in your mobile, smartphone, you can have your facility status now available in some of these apps. It will give you the status of the work orders, it will give you the locations and the open items that need urgent actions. And this is one of the simple things in applying CMCS, computerized maintenance management system. And of course, doing such things will enhance and improve performance of your facility and save time and cost with all perspectives of sustainability. Next, please. This is just a joke. about performance improvement. The lady on the left is saying our computers are down, so we have to do everything manually, even playing cards. It's just a joke regarding performance improvement. I'm just trying to make it a little bit funny for our celebration with Facility Management Day, or let's say Facility Management World Week. So last point is about business continuity, and of course if you apply facility management tools and techniques, and you are considering sustainability aspects, this will be a good base for continuity of business. And in that point, investors of course should consider and should make sure that they are applying their sustainability strategy, and they are using the high technology in facility management, for example, so that their business will be a good business and then a continued business. And of course this will be on the other hand one of the factors that will increase and enhance their profit. If we move to the next slide, please. Here is a definition for business continuity. It's the ability of an organization to provide service and support for its stakeholders and to maintain its viability before, during, and after an interruption of normal processes. Of course, talking about facility management, you are considering regular maintenance, you are considering preventive maintenance, and a lot of kind of maintenances that is being handled by work order system, and again before and during and after, and it is not just a reaction, it usually in facility management being an action and not reaction. Next please. I think we have reached to our final slide with another poll. Is the application of facility management contribute in building business continuity for organizations? Yes or no?
Okay, we have 100% say yes.
Yeah, in fact, I put that kind of questions to be answered by yes only. So, thank you all for joining us in this session, and I wish you all a happy and continued facility management, not only week but a year. Thank you.
Great, and we do have we still have a couple minutes left, and I do have a question. Do you have a moment for a question still?
Yeah, I have. If
Sure.
you got questions, I'm ready.
Okay, it says, can green technologies keep up with the warming of the planet, especially in regions like the Middle East?
Again, your question, please, Joshua.
Sure. Do you think green technologies can keep up with the warming of the planet, especially in regions like the Middle East?
In fact, as I told you in the beginning, it's evolving industry here in the Middle East. I'm not talking that it's 100% matured, but it's increasing, and it's being more and more considered by all parties, even private sector and governmental entities. So I believe in the next few years we will have a good era in green and sustainable communities that apply facility management as a good tool for having this sustainability.
Great, thank you. And that looks like the only question we had, which is perfect timing. And I just want to let everyone know about some of the upcoming webinars for today. That's going to continue our multi-day series for the World FM celebration. Also, the FMCC does have a mobile app that you can get at the iTunes or Google Play for both Android and iPhone. The FMCC is always looking for STAG volunteers, so if you have an idea for a presentation, a white paper, you would just want to participate and be part of the FMCC STAG, please contact Ricardo, the STAG chair. He'd be happy to have some new volunteers. The council always likes to bring attention to the other communities and IFMA councils that we have, and they're great sources of information and for the FM community at large. Mohamed, I want to thank you very much for a very insightful and informative webinar. And I want to thank everyone for attending. Have a great rest of World FM Week.
Thank you, Joshua. Thank you all.
You're welcome. Bye-bye.
Bye.